Welcome back, troops, to Let's Tab 59. Where am I today? I'm in Staffordshire, Oak Edge Shooting Grounds with the one and only Tony Belas. Tony, thank you for hosting us today. Thank you for letting me come up and have a go of all these wonderful rifles. Now, I've spoken about Tony before, and I've had a couple of rifles from you, Tony. I've had the Ghost initially, and I had the Pathfinder, which is this one. And Tony's brought me up here today and put a lovely range of weapons on for us. And I've sort of fallen in love with this Daystate Red Wolf. Tony, and you've told me earlier this is actually an older weapon.
Yeah, so we obviously sent you something which was in fitting with your character. So we sent you a practical, beautiful rifle, which initially was the Ghost.
I remember you saying one was a bullpup similar to the S80, and this is more
like
well,
I was sort of I was watching. I've been a subscriber to your channel forever, and I've been watching them, and you did something with a BSA with a Stutzen.
That's right.
And I thought, we really should get involved here. So I sent you what I thought would be the S8 equivalent, which is a BRK Ghost. And then I sent you, because I knew you'd spent some time with the US Americans, so I sent you something with equivalent to maybe an M4. So there you are. So keep it in the style of which you've become accustomed. But so with BRK, they are designed to be hugely practical. You know, I always say that if Bruce Willis was able to hang from a lift with an air rifle, it would be one of those. You know? But we have Daystate, and Daystate is refinement. You know,
so we're talking Land Rover, Bentley.
Bentley, yeah, that's a pretty way good. You Bentley will go cross country. It will do everything, but you're not going to do it, are you?
No.
So this is what this is about. This is refinement. This is finesse. It will do everything that does, but it will do it with beauty. So it's not for everybody. It's for people who want that in their lives. They want the finesse, they want the upper end stuff. And this particular rifle is electronic. So we started doing these 20 odd years ago, and we've been working on them since. We're the only company that does it. I'd like to say we're the only company that's smart enough to do it, because it's very hard to do electronic air rifles. But they're beautiful and they're refined and they fit in nicely with the character. And you've fallen in love with this.
I actually did. And when I looked at the small display of rifles that Tony had laid out for us today, my eye went straight to the military-looking stuff, like the Pathfinder, like the Ghost, like the other BRKs. And I saw this thing in pretty blue and thought, well, actually, that's not my cup of tea. I'm an ex-squaddy, I want something more military-looking. That's not for me. But as soon as I picked it up, Tony, just the feel of it just felt so right. And then when I got to shoot it, that was it. I was sold. So I think now, rather than the military-looking stuff, this is more my style.
There's exactly, that's exactly what the marketing department wanted to happen. We've gone from a practical, really useful, lovely gun, which most people would pick. Just to the finesse.
I think
you're moving up market, aren't you? This is what it is.
I think for hunting, the Ghost or the Pathfinder of the BRKs, but certainly range work, just for these are marvellous. I think that'd be the one for me.
So this is a 12-foot-pound one in a midnight blue.
Yes.
We do one in a red laminate, of course. We also do a safari version, which is a more practical knockabout gun.
Laminate?
No, it's a wood, but it's been textured and then dyed to make it look more military-ish.
Okay.
Not really a camouflage gun, but more of that. So we've put one of those on the range in 30 caliber.
That's the one I had to go.
That's how to go. So we'll cut in some video of you shooting that.
Honestly, when Tony took me across to show me the 30 cal, I mean, I'm quite a novice of air guns, but anyone out there, especially ex-squaddies that watch my channel, imagine a 30 caliber air rifle. Obviously, it's an FAC because, as we spoke, Tony, 12-foot-pounds wouldn't shift the slug out the end of the barrel.
Perhaps if you shot it twice, you'd get halfway up on the first one.
Swim it up the middle.
The second one would get it the final
Absolutely brilliant. And I fired that thing, and it's to me, it felt just like firing a 2-2 rimfire. That's
it's slightly more powerful than a rimfire.
Yeah, you said,
because it's soft lead. Whereas a rimfire needs a solid lead, otherwise it's going to melt. Whereas we can use, because we're cooling the pellet as we get out, so we can actually use really soft lead. So we've got a 50 grain pellet. These are 10.5 grain, and we've got a 50 grain pellet knocking out at around about 950 feet per second. And that is doing, when that hits the target, that's deforming it, so it's quite dangerous.
I mean, I actually did feel a slight, like you said, maybe not recoil with a 30 cal, but there was something there.
Yes.
I definitely felt something.
It's got good prototypes. First of all, if you miss, you hear the ricochet in Stafford. And the second thing is that you damage the targets if you're not shooting at the right targets. We've got FAC targets down there, but if you were to shoot a 12 foot pound ones, you'd probably bend it in half.
Really?
And this does around 500 shots per charge, and that one does 20, something like that, per charge.
Yeah.
So you're using a lot more air, but it's a great find.
What was it again on the FAC one?
So about 115 foot-pounds out of that particular rifle.
And how many shots would you get from a charge?
20 on a good day.
See, for hunting, that'd be perfect because
yeah,
you're not going to be firing.
Absolutely, yeah. If it's definitely a good hunting tool.
Yeah,
and you're getting some range out of it as well. You're probably getting 70, 80, 90
and
yards.
Could you put a sound moderator on that?
Yes, you can, because it's subsonic.
Yeah.
It's already silenced,
yeah,
but we can put a... It's not that loud, is it really?
No, it wasn't, no.
But these, of course, this is what most people would have in this country, 12 foot-pounds. It doesn't need a silencer because it's already quiet. 500 shots per charge, absolutely pinprick accurate.
And do you do the Pathfinder in 30 cal?
Yes, we... no, not in 30 cal. We do it in 25 cal.
25.
The Ghost does 30 caliber.
The Ghost does 30. So that might be something I'd be interested in actually looking at.
Yeah.
Quick chat with Tony on Tony's military career, because we both served in the same regiment, although we never knew each other.
Yes, that's right. Big regiment.
I was only a short time in the Queen's Regiment, and then we amalgamated with the Hampshires and the PW.
Yeah.
You spent most of your service with the Queen's Regiment.
That's right.
And you joined up in...
So I joined as a junior in 72, and I joined at Canterbury, would you believe? It was a wing of Shorncliffe.
Howe Barracks?
Howe Barracks, yes.
Ah.
So I was there. Then we got moved to Basingbourne.
Yes.
And then Basingbourne we joined Trogs and did the recruiting, and then joined my unit in Gibraltar. So I joined 3 Queens in Gibraltar.
Out of junior leaders?
Yeah.
And straight off.
Well, they made us do basic training, which is a bit odd.
Sorry,
after 2 years of training, then you did it again. But then we moved. Then did that, and then we moved from Basingbourne to my unit in Gibraltar, which was a completely different game.
And how old was you then?
So I was 17 and a half at that point, and I joined to Gibraltar to find my unit had just gone on training in Hythe, which is so military, isn't it? You know, having left Hythe the week before. So I spent a couple of weeks, then they joined, and we did everything. And then we started training for Northern Ireland. We went to Andersonstown.
Oh, yeah, I know.
From Gibraltar, and then back to Catterick, and then back to Dover. And that's one of the first videos I saw you doing, Connaught Barracks.
Yes, because I ended up at Folkestone, at Shorncliffe.
Yes.
And no married quarters at Folkestone because of the Gurk had just moved in. And so they dumped me with 3 para.
Right, okay.
So I was the only crap at on the married quarter patch with 3 para and then 1 para come along.
Right.
But then, so you did all that in Germany, obviously?
Yeah, so from Dover, we went to Germany. So we went to Fallingbostel. And we were there for 5 years.
Yeah.
And
great.
Originally didn't want to go, and then just loved it. Absolutely.
Everyone loves Germany.
Oh, it was a fantastic time. And that's when I was a ski instructor, so I used to do a lot of skiing and shooting. So I'd shoot in the summer as part of the shooting team, ski in the winter.
Was you ever in uniform?
Any good at all. If you look about promotion, it's a kiss of death on that. But it was a great time. So I'd shoot in the summer, ski in the winter. I was in a signal platoon, so I would do that as well.
Right.
And we were of course, in APCs, so we would do that.
432.
And then we left after 5 years, and I went back and started doing. So where'd I go? I went to TA. Went to 5 Queens after that as an instructor at Canterbury.
Yeah,
at Leros
Barracks.
Leros Barracks. Down the hill from.
Literally
Howe.
The prison's up there near
That's it. Yeah,
the prison went in down.
That's it.
Old Park training area.
That's it. That's round the back. And we did all that for a couple of years, and then joined the unit again. I think in Aldergrove Airport. So my unit back to Ireland, 2 years tour.
Yeah, 2 years.
Did that for a couple of years. That was great fun. And then did 2 years there, and then I can't remember when we went after that. I think we went back to the UK and just, somewhere like that. Yeah.
And you weren't on the amalgamation parade when we...
No, so I was on recruiting. So what happened is that the Queen's Regiment realised they were in trouble. They didn't have enough people. So they got sent as a special recruit. I ended up in Chichester. Was recruiting away when Options for Change was announced. When we were watching
brown
on TV,
envelopes started coming out.
So we were thinking, oh, this is the end of that. I was due to go back to 3 Queens as RSO, or assistant RSO, and that all got cancelled. So we're like, careers at that point, it was like 50 men in a mini, wasn't it? Yeah. Everybody got amalgamated and everybody was trying to crowd around. So at that point, I decided maybe it's time to leave. So I went back to my unit. I did about a year in Omagh and then left and then resettled, and
that was
and then eventually ended up.
So that was 22 years, Tony? Or?
22 years, including the junior sailors.
Including juniors.
Yeah. So I left slightly early.
Yeah.
Got a little bit of money out of them.
Yeah.
Not enough, but enough, you know. And then left and started my own company, and eventually morphed into Daystate in about 2001. I've been working with them in their shooting team since the 80s, but I ended up kind of joining them in 2001.
So I'm going to ask you, because you were skiing and shooting, did you ever combine the two?
No, I had a go. We did a skiing thing where we had to do biathlon. Otherwise you didn't qualify. But I was a downhill skier and I was a rubbish Langlaufer.
Oh,
so it was a bit hilarious. That's
Langlaufen, I could never stay on them, especially with a slope. I was right downhill skiing. As soon as I got on the Langlauf skis, there's a bit of a slope, I was out.
The Langlaufing is for tall, skinny people. And
I'm
built for it. I couldn't do it, so I wasn't very good. I had to do it because it was they only got your grant if you did it. But I wasn't very good at it. But I was a good downhill skier, so that's where that came from.
So you nearly combined the two.
Yeah, nearly combined the two.
Right, Tony, thank you ever so much for chatting to me today, and everything you've been doing for me has been brilliant.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thanks very much, everybody. Remember, less tab.